Welcome back, Curry Crew. Today we have a delicious recipe for you. So we're going to be making homemade chimichangas, and they're going to be so amazing that even Deadpool would be proud. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into our video. So today we're going to be making vegetarian chimichangas. Now you can also make this recipe with chicken. However, for today we are doing it completely vegetarian because my family happens to be vegetarian. So into a non-stick pan, we have 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. And then to this, we're going to add in 1 medium-sized chopped onion, 1 chopped jalapeno, and 1 cup of chopped bell peppers. Give it a nice mix. And we're going to be cooking out our veggies for about 3 to 4 minutes over medium to low heat. Then to this, we're going to add in 1/3 cup of corn kernels and give it a quick mix. For this, you can use fresh or frozen corn kernels. It doesn't really matter which ones you use. And then to this, we're going to add in 3 cloves of garlic, finely chopped. You can also use a garlic press if you want. We are putting in the garlic near the end because we don't want our garlic to burn, and we only want to cook it for a few minutes. Give it a nice mix, and then to this pan, we're going to start adding in our seasonings. So first, we're going to add in a tablespoon of chili powder. Next, we're going to add in half a tablespoon of cumin, and finally 1 tablespoon of red chili powder. But you can put less if you want, if you don't want it to be too spicy, but I like it a little bit spicy, so I added 1 tablespoon. Give it all a nice mix so that all of the seasonings are incorporated into our veggies. Then we're going to add into our pan 1 15-ounce can of black beans. It's roughly about 2 cups worth of cooked and strained black beans. Give it a nice mix, and allow the beans to get coated with our seasonings. Look at the amazing vibrant colors that are in our pan. This all looks so appetizing already, and as we go ahead, it's only going to get more and more delicious. Finally, to this, we're going to add in salt to taste and then pepper to taste. Of course, on our channel, we always say salt to taste because we never want to add too much salt to a dish and ruin it. Give it one final mix, and then turn off the stove and allow the veggies to cool down for a few minutes before we move on to our next step, which is basically finalizing the chimichanga filling. You can taste your filling right now just to make sure that you have enough salt and pepper in it. If so, let it cool. If not, add a little bit more. Once our filling is cooled, we're going to pour it into a mixing bowl, and then to this, we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. This cream cheese is going to make the internal mix of our chimichanga nice and creamy and absolutely awesome. Once you have added in the cream cheese, give it a nice mix until you're left with a uniform mixture. Next to this, we're going to add in 1 cup of cooked rice. So I'm using brown rice, but feel free to use white rice if you would like. It doesn't really matter which one you use. Again, give it a nice mix until our rice is incorporated into the final filling and we're left with a single uniform filling. Set this aside and then we can start our assembly. So take a large burrito-sized flour tortilla, and then on top of that, we are going to start putting in our filling. I'm using whole wheat just to be a little bit healthy, but feel free to use regular ones. So onto the tortilla, you're going to scoop in 3 tablespoons worth of your filling. And then on top of the filling, we're going to sprinkle some shredded cheese. So you can use pre-shredded Mexican blend, or you can shred some of your own favorite cheese. I recommend using cheddar or pepper jack. You can use as much cheese as you personally desire, but don't go overboard. You know, this is a vegetable chimichanga, not a cheese chimichanga with like a hint of veggies. So now to roll our tortilla, take the side closest to you and fold it over the filling, and then pull it back towards you a little bit. Next, fold in the 2 sides of the tortilla over the initial fold that you made. And then the last step is folding and rolling the tortilla away from you into a burrito shape. So this should be the final result, a perfectly wrapped tortilla with our delicious filling. At this point, we essentially have a burrito, but we have one more step before we can call it a chimichanga. But before we do that, let's roll out the rest of our tortillas with the fillings. So this recipe makes 6 chimichangas. And once we are done rolling out the rest of our chimichangas, the final step is to take a medium pan and add to it some oil. I'm using avocado oil because it has a high smoke point and it's pretty much tasteless. Once the oil is hot enough, we will place our burrito flap side down into the oil and we will pan fry our burritos until it is nice and golden brown. Make sure to flip after a minute or so and cook the other side. We cook it flap side down so that we can seal in our chimichanga and our fillings don't spill out. Once the chimichanga is done, remove it from the pan and let it rest on the side. Meanwhile, pan fry the rest of the chimichangas until they are all done. After which, we can finally plate up our dish. So here we have our awesome chimichanga. We're gonna serve it with some sour cream, some guacamole, and finally some salsa. If you want the recipes of how to make homemade salsa and guacamole, check out the video in the description, or you can click above. But our dish is pretty much ready for us to enjoy. I know you guys can't eat it right now, but I'm gonna dig in because it smells amazing and I can't wait. So guys, we are ready to taste our final dish. So I already got a bite ready, I'm gonna dig in. It's amazing. I'm at a loss for words for how good this turned out. So, you guys need to try this out. You know, try it out at home. Make it for yourself. Let us know how it turns out for you. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And keep on cooking.